You're live.
Welcome back to Total Nonstop Impact. Impact Talk for Impact fans. Throwback edition. This is NWA TNA number 24. And we're about to kick this review off. Go ahead, Kyle. Start the show.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Oh, that's right.
This is the jaw-jacking Tuesday Night Impact, and his mother called him son because he shines like one. Mocha Skin Manimal, Rohit Raju, and you are watching Total Nonstop Impact.
This is Taya La Güera Loca, and you are listening to Total Nonstop Impact.
The Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, and you're listening to Total Nonstop Impact.
We are the Rascals, and you are listening to Total
Nonstop
Impact Podcast, baby.
Woo! And what you're really listening to is Total Nonstop Impact. Don't you dare miss a lesson. Oh,
Hey! What's up, Impact Wrestling? Let's make some noise! This is the good stuff.
Welcome, everyone, to Total Nonstop Impact. Impact Talk for Impact fans. Throwback show, episode number 24 of NWA TNA. This is your host, Trent, along with my two co-hosts for the evening. Basil's in the house.
What up, people?
And not last but not least, the scumbag himself, the ultimate scum, the psycho scum, horrible scumbag, the bottom of the barrel, the grime in between the kitchen tile. Kyle, what's happening?
You keep your jokes to yourself, Trent. Me and Carol Baskin were DMing each other earlier, as you saw. So you keep that to yourself. I'm going to be a star soon. I'm going to be at her sanctuary.
We need the Carol Baskin soundbite from the song. But Carol Baskin.
He legit was talking to Carol Baskin today.
Cool Cats and Kittens. Well, she's on her YouTube channel here on YouTube. She has her videos. I saw she was live. I went in the comments and said, man, what a babe. Because that's what I think of her. You know I love the MILFs and the Cougars. Trent, I think she's a tiger in my book.
What did she reply? Why don't you display that while we're setting up the show? Why don't you display her comment?
Dude, I'm not Jaybone. Don't be throwing me on the hot seat like that.
Right,
That's not at arm's reach right now. But
all I know
it's
is
on the Twitter channel. Direct the traffic. I put it on our Twitter page there. We Talk Impact. She answered me when I called her a babe. She said, thank you. Sent me a couple emojis. So, Trent, me and Carol are getting together. You could say things are getting pretty serious between us. So, you know.
I'm impressed, Kyle. To penetrate that force field that is Carol Baskin, I'm impressed, man. I mean, you're soon enough, you're going to be covered in sardine oil and buried somewhere in a tiger sanctuary. But hey.
Feed me to the tigers, baby.
In the meantime, you're a hit. Well, hey, guys, listen, we're here. It's going to be NWA TNA number 24. We got a little bit of news we'll talk about today. We'll also recap it again tomorrow on the main show. But, guys, Su Yung and Susie have both re-signed with Impact Wrestling. Basil, this is hot news. What do you? I mean, both of them on the same day. That's kind of interesting, huh? Wow. Who knew? Who knew two contract signings on the same day? What do you think?
It's crazy.
That's very nice. Thank you for your contribution.
Hey,
your insight there.
I can only speculate so much as part of the company. I have to.
Well, they're signed. That's all. I mean, I'm just saying that it's interesting. It's nice to see them coming.
There's so many people
home.
that are signed. I don't even know who's signed anymore.
Well, they're coming back home. That's nice. I mean, not that they really left. It was like a week she wasn't on TV, so worked out pretty nice. But what else we got going on in the news today, guys? Now, if you guys watched earlier on the channel, we actually did another show today. We did the NWA or the TNI Impact Plus weekly at 3 p.m. today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Middle of the day. Well, Kyle, a scumbag here, left me hanging all weekend because he was out
all weekend, bro.
He's the only guy I know who is out more during quarantine than he is when there's no quarantine. It's like, oh, I got shit to do. I'm out.
Trent, it's the greatest thing. I get to go out and I don't have to see anybody because everybody's hiding in their houses. It's a free world out there. It's awesome.
It's unbelievable. He left me hanging all weekend. I sat here properly quarantined, but no, Kyle was out doing whatever. But so we did the TNI Impact Plus weekly at 3:00 this afternoon. I got off a work meeting, turned on my computer, did the show, went back to work midday. But I was impressed with how many people actually joined us for that. You guys were awesome. So thank you for that. Guys, what else is going on in the Impact Wrestling world today?
Kung Fu Theater coming soon here to the channel. The TNI crew. Yes. We have a content coming up soon on our Twitch channel there. Kung Fu Theater. That's right. Kung Fu Theater. Rowdy Raju and the TNI crew are going to be opening up the Amazon Prime movie catalog. We're going to be watching the best. Oh, the best, Trent. The best in Kung Fu. And we're going to be doing some funny commentary here live with the Impact fans, and it's going to be a hoot.
Well, let's be honest here, Kyle. This is your baby. You kind of went rogue, and you're like, hey guys, I just arranged a new show for us with Rohit. We're both Kung Fu movie fans
and Wu-Tang Clan. It's Kung Fu and Wu-Tang, man.
So you guys went ahead and just arranged the new show where you're going to be Twitch streaming Kung Fu.
It'll be a special. It won't be every week. It'll be a special once in a while.
The logo's cool. The artwork that Lino did is fantastic. I like that. I like that. So Kyle,
this is the good stuff.
Rohit and the Scumbag doing Kung Fu movie reviews. It's going to be fantastic. So keep an eye for that, guys. All right. Well, anything else? How's life? How's quarantine treating you, Basil? You have a nice you had a nice dinner tonight. I saw the photos.
Oh man, I went ham on the steak today. So our local grocery
kind of
store
ironic.
in Chicago. Yeah,
Going
yeah.
ham on the beef. I mean, you set that one up. You went ham on the beef. Hakeem Fullerton, thank you for stopping. You got work to do. You got to get back to school.
No, you stay on here. Screw school.
He's taking a break because he's got schoolwork he's got to do. But thank you for popping in. All right.
But yeah, made dinner. Had a good Mother's Day yesterday with the fam.
Very nice.
Back at work, but keeping up the gaming and the painting and stuff like that because it's not like I can really do anything after work.
Very true.
I come back home.
Very true. All right, let's say hi to some folks in here. Kyle, actually, but first off, everybody in the chat, you guys take care. You guys call your mothers yesterday. You take care of your moms. Kyle, what the hell did you do for your mom? What does a scumbag do for his mother on Mother's Day?
I'm here.
That's about it, huh? Hey, Ma, how you doing?
My presence.
Your presence is your
My
present?
presence is the present.
That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. But all right. Hakeem has a question about your show, though, Kyle. He said, if you guys are going to be doing talking about the Wu-Tang Clan, I got an interesting story about Old Dirty Bastard. You want to save it for the show, Hakeem? You jump on the show with Kyle and tell him that day. But let's see who we got in the chat. Kyle, scroll me some comments here. Let's see who we got. Let's add everybody. We got Mir Neeson in the house, Millard Harris, Eric Mendoza, Bill Gardner, Paul Nelson, Zach Bonifer, Rose Montana, Impact Jacket Guy. Who else? We got Global Wars is in the house. Slowpoke, Eric D. Hoff, Hakeem. Who else we got? Eric Butters. I saw D. Cohen is in the house too. Man, everybody's here. All right, nice. Let's let them keep piling in, guys. Let's jump into this. We got anything else to talk about before we jump in, or I'm going to jump right into this review. This is one of the most controversial episodes of NWA TNA of all time. This is where it changed. This is where the shift happened.
Look. Oh no.
Kyle's mom's got it going on, man.
I thought Kyle was referring to the show.
Oh, I
He used to sing that to me on the playground. That exact context. Not cool.
Wait a minute. Kyle, are you trying
Zach might have been there.
Is your mom a MILF?
Is your mom MILF?
Oh,
Is your mom MILF?
I shouldn't have said anything.
You brought attention to it.
Wait a minute. Is your mom would Ace Austin be a threat to your mother?
You can't ask me that, man. I don't know. Come have dinner sometime.
I'd love to. I mean, Kyle, I seem to have I think we need to get Ace Austin on a hot or not voting panel about your mom. Can we get a picture of Ma and get it on Twitter?
You know, Trent, I love to kick in the balls, but I don't take getting kicked in the balls very good, you know? I dish it out. I don't receive it.
All right, on that note, guys, let's man, Deco wants to see a pic, man.
That's the problem, Trent. You can't joke with these people. These animals, they want to wear my face. They will find my mom. You can't do that.
Hey,
leave his mother out.
Kyle, come
don't be a bitch, Kyle.
Don't be a bitch, homie.
Kyle, where's
my mom, man?
Where the fuck? Hey, Kyle, where's my ticker? Give me my ticker here. You're producing. Give me a ticker on the bottom. I want a ticker go on the bottom. There we
There
go.
we go.
Trent needs to get a haircut. Thank you
Wait,
very much.
no. I need to get a haircut. There's a reason why there's a hat on this head right now.
Oh,
It's so
all right,
bad.
terrible.
It's so bad.
Don't just sit there and listen. Interact with us. Yeah, keep the comments coming. All right,
Yeah.
guys.
Put stuff in the comments. Make scumbag work even more today.
I'm glad that Global Wars has brought this up in the chat. Is there a Jaybone update? So Jaybone has been calling in live, as you know. This time, he's not live. He left us a VHS tape, fellas. I didn't pop it in yet, so would you like to take a look? We don't know where he is. We don't know his whereabouts. We don't know.
Are we sure this is from him? I mean, are we positive this came from Jaybone or not?
I didn't watch it.
It is a VHS, so it's on brand.
It's a VHS. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. Go ahead and bring it out. What do we got?
See what you did. Look at these comments. See what you did.
I'm trying. Your mom's over, dude. I'm trying to get your mom over here.
Bringing up childhood memories, man. They were painful. Let's take a look at what Jaybone's up to.
All right. Let's see what we got. What's Jaybone up to?
Worst vacation ever. Told the airline, dude, any place that starts with the letter A. I was thinking Albuquerque, New Mexico, someplace warm. No, he picks, where are we? Oh, 2 words, Antarctica. Yeah, it's not what I planned. So I'm canceling my World Traveler card routine here. Yeah, I'm not doing this no more. This is a failed experiment. I can't do this. I keep hearing something. What? I don't know what I'm hearing. What? Jiminy Christmas has not a bratwurst. I'm out of here.
What the heck was that?
What did I just see? What was that? He's getting attacked by polar bears, and they're going to eat his bratwurst.
The polar bear is wondering what the fuck he's doing there. He's like, why is this dude chilling on my land?
Well, apparently they don't drink Coca-Cola. Apparently they don't drink Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I'm about to drink Jaybone.
Can we stream these before we watch them again?
I'm not putting Millard Harris's comment on the screen. That's a little rough. A little too much, even for the scumbag.
Oh, yeah. No.
A little too much. No. Don't work too blue, man. Don't work too blue.
What the fuck did I just say?
Oh my god.
Oh god, is he alive? What happened here?
Apparently he was about to get attacked by polar bears there, and they were going for his bratwurst. So I don't know.
Oh wow! All right. Wow.
If there's anything left of it,
so I can officially say that the Jaybone vacation bit has officially jumped the shark here on air, and he will be back tomorrow night.
Is he flying back in tomorrow? The return of Jay?
Trent, the bit just jumped the shark live on air. That one was a dud. I mean, let's call it what it was. He's back tomorrow.
All right, well, Jaybone's back on the show tomorrow night, guys. The return of the Bone is back. Alicia will also be with us tomorrow. We have a special guest. Don't forget, John E. Bravo joins us live 30 minutes after Impact goes off.
Bowling Alley Bravo.
Bowling Alley Bravo. Kyle, he's going to reveal where he gets the shirts. The fashion is going to be revealed tomorrow. I can't wait.
I have seen.
I saw the Big Lebowski. I know where this comes from.
I have seen fresh shipments of these shirts come in and
really
take it right out of the plastic. Oh,
I want to know. I'm going to ask him tomorrow if he's got a promo code for this company, because if he does, we're going to reveal it on the show, and you guys are all going to buy one in the chat. I got to do it.
We got.
All right, boys.
Of those promos. Every time he gets a new one, we try to get a promo in.
We need a promo code. That's what we need. All right, boys. Let's kick it off. Guys, one of the most controversial episodes of NWA TNA of all time. This is the one where Sports Entertainment Extreme was born. This had a lot. This completely took it from this southern father and son company to just a whole different level.
Was this a quarantine episode before quarantine? Because I could have sworn there's like a quarter of the roster on this episode.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. There could have been.
Well, look, when you gotta pay for Roddy Piper, gotta make some cuts, man.
You can't afford everything.
That's a heavy booking, man.
I'll tell you what, though. I met Rowdy Piper 4 days before this appearance.
Really?
At a Borders bookstore, getting his book signed. And I remember asking him, and I go, "Hey, Rod, you ever gonna go to TNA?" And he goes, "I don't know. I'm not too sure what that is, brother. I don't know." I'm like, "Oh yeah," we're talking. I'm like, whatever, Totally kayfabing me because 3-4 days later he showed up on TNA, but he was really cool. I didn't have a camera. No, it was 2002, so I didn't. Camera phones weren't a thing. So I didn't get a photo. I got his autograph.
Josh Matthews, to Dead Punk's Gage's comment, Matthews actually did have a fashion podcast.
We've talked about it here on the show, the Men Fashion Lifestyle Aficionado podcast, something along those lines.
Yeah, it was the Man the Fish. I forgot what it was. But anyway, so Rowdy Piper is on the show, and it opens up the show. We start off. We got a little bit of a recap of when they went off the air last week. We cut a little early. They showed Russo and Truth brawl last week. Actually, get into a kind of a brawl out of nowhere after the cameras went off the air. Harris boys broke it up, and the Russo was all F you on the way out. We start this show, and Rowdy Piper's music is playing, and everybody's freaking out. Everybody's puzzled, like, wait a minute. Can't be. Mike Tenay is having a conniption on what's going on here. He cannot figure out what's happening. And out of nowhere, Piper walks out. Roddy Piper, legend himself.
The longest intro of an entrance.
Hey, it's Roddy Piper, man.
No, I get it. But Tenay was like, this is a familiar one. What could it be?
What does it mean? It's like, dude, come on. By now, I hope you figured it out.
Like for 5 minutes, and then Roddy, and then it looks. I don't like that. Was that dude like an actor or something that he was with, or is that his son?
It's not his son. I remember because that guy was with him at the book signing when I met him a few days prior. He was right next to him at the table. So it's not his kid. I don't know. It's like some guy he's training or something. I don't know exactly who it is, but it's not his kid. And the guy's really awkward. Like, kind of like, you can tell Roddy's like, come on with me, brother. Just come with me. Like, the kid's like, So he just was out there. But he comes out, man. He talks about being on the book tour. That's the stop. I mean, obviously it worked out timing. He's on the book tour. He goes in hard on the sports entertainment thing, man. Like, he goes in real hard. It's a work
hard
shoot.
On Russo.
Big time. This now what was revealed later on. This is the work shoot. I mean, Russo was on Piper's podcast before Piper passed away. They're fine. Like, they settled their friendship very nicely. They had a really good episode. There's archives of it. It's actually a really good show. And but it was a work shoot. Obviously it wasn't meant to go as far as it did. And what I mean by that is Piper looks right into the camera and goes, "Hey, Russo, let me ask you a question. Did you kill?" Go ahead.
He basically alluded that because Russo was the one who set up Owens, basically the stunt to get down to the ring, Shawn Michaels style. Basically, because it was his idea, Russo is the reason for Owens' death. And this is still very fresh at the time. I mean, 5 years after was
not even. This is 3 years after.
I keep thinking 97. That happened in 99. So
99. This is very fresh. Super fresh, yeah.
And that was that Owens' death was talked about over and over for minimum 10 years before it started to cool off.
Dude, this is very, very the second he says it, the whole crowd goes silent because then it just became awkward. Then it's like, oh shit. So then he does that. Russo comes in, he comes in out of the crowd. You could tell this is the part where you knew it went off the rails. Like, you could tell it was a work shoot up until this point. And it goes there. Russo's there. He's in his face. It's intense. And then you really know it's not a work when the Harris boys come out to diffuse everything, really. Because they're there to basically stand in the way. There's a lot of heat being thrown around. This is it's on YouTube everywhere, guys. If you don't have Impact Plus, I suggest you watch just for the context of how intense this was. You weren't getting stuff. You were not getting things like this on TV back then. Kyle, I mean, this is unpredictable shit, man. This is the kind of stuff that, I mean, you and I like unpredictable stuff like this, but this is an extremely intense promo, though.
When you're producing the Crash TV sometimes you get a little tasteless. You get a little lost in the sauce, and you go a little over the top in the, trying to. And at this time, 2002, you got to think, Trent. There's a solid amount of people. Like, you could laugh at me now because it's 2020, but I guarantee you, in 2002, there was a solid amount of people that watched this and thought it was completely real, and were completely sold on.
Totally. I mean, we all thought it was real at the time. Nobody knew work shoot.
Exactly. So, I mean, you're looking at the dawn of reality TV and that kind of trashiness, because that was Russo's philosophy. Forget the wrestling. Let's trick the people. Is this real or fake? I get it, the whole work shoot thing, but I think this is an example where I think they just might have went a little too far.
Well, that's where Piper. I mean, Piper admitted later on that he did take it too far. Piper has gone on the record and say he went too far with it. It wasn't meant to be. He was caught up in the moment, man. But who's going to tell Rowdy Piper you went too far? So they tried diffusing it.
Do you know what? It was good that it was done in a pay-per-view setting.
Yeah,
in my opinion, because you never really heard Roddy talk about it much after that. I think Roddy just needed to say it, and I don't blame him. I mean, Roddy and that whole family were very close, and
yeah,
it's sometimes you just have to. He just had to get it off his chest, and I don't blame him because a lot of people were upset at that time, and they didn't know who to blame. Like, there were so many people who were involved in that decision. It wasn't. Obviously, there wasn't one person because you had to have someone who came up with the idea, somebody who approved the idea, the people who made the idea a reality, and then you had to have Owen himself agree to it. Now, do we know if he was forced or not? That's something that we don't know, but
they've said he wasn't forced. I mean, obviously, but there was always a fear in that business, in that company. If you say no. Because he had already said no to something prior about a storyline where he's having an affair with Deborah. He said no to that, so he thought, I can't keep saying no because then my job's at risk. That's the kind of environment they built, and that sucks.
Wish he could have just had that affair with. If that was the alternate.
That was the alternate.
I wish he could have just had the affair, and then it wouldn't have been much of a stain, so to speak, on his career, but.
No,
damn, I would have killed for another 10 to 15 years of Owen on our TV.
Yeah, he was one of the best, man. One of my favorite. Kyle, are you an Owen Hart guy?
Big fan of Owen the Nugget. Used to have WWF attitude. Used to pick Owen just to hear him say, "I'm not a Nugget."
Enough is enough, then it's time for a change.
I love him, man.
Bingo. But you know what? I think that let's face it, Roddy Piper is not with us anymore.
Yeah,
so
sadly.
One side of the story, you're not going to get it. I mean, he's probably done a million interviews since. If we looked hard enough, we could probably find him talking about it. Like you said before, him and Russo did a podcast together, correct, Trent?
Yeah, it was Roddy Piper used to have a podcast himself, and he brought Russo on it, and they had a great talk. It's a really good episode, actually.
So I'm wondering, was this Russo's idea, or was this like Roddy just say whatever you want, go out there, do something crazy?
It was a say whatever you want. It gave him freedom to do it. A little bit of a work shoot, like, hey, digging on the sports entertainment part of it. He didn't know it's going to go this far. This is where Rowdy's therapy came into play. And what you could, like I said, you could tell the way the Harris boys run in, and it's not like they're breaking up a fight. Like it's a very nerve-wracking situation.
Yeah, I don't think that Roddy Piper actually believes that. I think he was just trying to give into that narrative of, all right, let's paint Vince Russo as the ultimate bad guy, the Antichrist. And a lot of people on the internet and whatever was around kind of pre-internet, early internet, a lot of people probably did say Russo is to blame for Owen Hart's death. So I think it was a situation of, how do we get the entire wrestling world to talk about us tomorrow? Almost like a publicity stunt. But looking back now, a little tasteless and trashy, but 2002 was the dawn of trash TV.
Oh my God. I mean, it kicked a lot of it off, man. I mean, shit, Simple Life, right? And that started around then too.
You had the end of tabloid TV with Jerry Springer, which Russo said a million times. Huge influence on his wrestling writing, for better or worse. But then you had reality TV, and this is all part of that era.
Big time. Well, hey, definitely, like I said, guys, a segment worth checking out. It's something it's in wrestling history. It's one that doesn't get forgotten. So I say definitely go check that out. We go from that right to a match. Divine Storm with Trinity taking on the SATs. They're both in the same training school. They both all of them train with Mikey Whipwreck. But man, guys, I can't help but think Trinity is like the star here. And we knew Basil, you watched this as it aired too. Trinity ended up being the big star out of all this.
I've said this before on so many different podcasts. Like, it's crazy how the manager or the girl who was meant to just be arm candy or just a little bit of an enhancement ends up becoming the breakout. And we've seen it over and over in the years. And it's like, we can't knock or we can't overlook these type of talents that they get in, and they bring them in for a reason. And Trinity was the star of that match. I'm sorry, but like, her attitude was amazing. It was on point. You see Divine Storm, which I hate that name, and I hate their gear. I hated everybody's gear in this match. But like,
except Trinity. She looked great.
Trinity.
Trinity looked good.
But like,
except Trinity. She was the only one out of this.
But did you see like her attitude? She wasn't like happy. She was just like, yeah, I fucking did that. Yeah. I made you guys lose.
Yeah, I did. Like, I'm telling you, she's awesome, man. Like, not enough credit as far as being remembered as a historic knockout, though. I'm surprised, like, she never got brought back. She's still around, guys. She's at Action Trinity on Instagram. I do follow her. It's really cool to still see her, because she did go to that ECW brand, WWE, for like a cup of coffee, and that was it. But she ended up getting hurt, right, Basil? She had a big neck injury. She was a stunt woman too. Like,
she went to WWE for like the WWE ECW run, because she stayed with TNA for about 3 years after.
She was there for did that whole Dusty Rhodes thing. She was there until like 07, I want to say.
05. It was 05, because 06 she signed with OVW, and then she had a tryout on Sunday Night Heat. She got signed from that, and then she worked for about a year. She got released, and then she retired. She came back twice to TNA, once in like 2008, I believe. And then one time in 2013, she came back for the Knockouts One Night Only show.
Holy shit, she did! I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah.
I like Trinity, man.
I did my homework on her when she popped up on my TV today. I was like, let's do some homework.
That's awesome, man. Listen, Hakeem Ford actually did an article about Trinity's work in TNA. Please do post it, Hakeem. I would love to read some of this, because she gets forgotten, man. And I think she had she had that whole feud with Kid Kash. She was doing intergender, Kyle, before this whole Tessa and Sammy thing kicked off. This Trinity was fighting Kid Kash like freaking 18 years ago, man. She was a pioneer.
There was a lot of intergender going on throughout this entire episode. I mean,
a lot. They were blazing trails back then, man.
Yeah, but I mean, in this situation, it's kind of one-sided, because it's like right now on TV, I see we're going to get to in a little bit, Russo smacking up Athena, and then the very end of the episode, a woman eats the pin.
Yes, we'll definitely talk about. There's a lot. Holy shit, there's a lot going on. This is
Sports Entertainment Extreme. It was trying to shock you, and like 2002. It's like wrestling had already peaked through that shocking era, and this was their way of how do we push the envelope further?
This was an intense episode. God damn, man. But no, Divine Storm gets the win on this one. Trinity does a little cheat to him, but no, Basil, thanks for that background. That's pretty good. I didn't know she came back. I'd love to see her come back a little bit. And Butters wants to know if you have Wikipedia open in front of you, Basil. He doesn't believe that you knew all that off the top of your head.
Wikipedia is not open in front of me, but I remembered that because
Basil's that one kid you grew up with that had all the encyclopedias in his bedroom. You never saw him read them, but they were there.
Actually, ask Trent. I'm very good with remember, but I just read it earlier today.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was really fresh in my mind, and because we were doing the show, like I said, I do pull up Wikipedia a lot, but I didn't pull it up right in front of my face.
Guys, I can't remember shit. I can't remember anything. Like I remember bits and pieces, But I rely on people like Basil and then like referee Nate when I need like AEW details and stuff. I always go to them
this morning, Trent.
I can't even tell. I had a protein bar. I did have a protein bar. Yes.
Those Robert Irvine bars.
Yes. You know, I tell you about these?
Those are so good. Those are so good.
They're so good, man. Mr. Gail Kim, his friggin' protein bars are unbelievable. Fit Crunch, if anybody wants to. Fit Crunch wants to sponsor TNI. Feel free, Chef Irvine. I'd love to do it. But let's keep going, guys. Chris Harris is there. So AMW's in solo matches on this evening. Chris Harris makes his entrance, and Russo interrupts the entrance, grabs the microphone, and says, "All right, now it's my turn." And dude, it's like total shoot style, right? I don't even think this. I don't think all this was planned either. He dogs the NWA for being old. The crowd's hot. The crowd is very, very into this guy. They're like really. There's a lot of heat on Russo here. He tells JB he's going to stick his own foot up his ass. JB flips him off. He asks the crowd. This is where the crowd went nuts. Oh, by the way, Butters wants you and I, Basil, to do a Ultimate TNA Trivia Challenge. I think I would love to do that, actually. That's a good idea.
As long as I get to be the host, put the suit on.
Absolutely. You are a game show host.
Be that guy.
So he asks the crowd, "Do you want blood, sex, nudity, violence?" They're going nuts at all these answers, and then he announces this is a big thing in TNA. He announces that this is the birth of sports entertainment extreme, and he's like, "Spell it out," and it's sex, obviously. He calls out, he's like, all the Athena signs. He starts making mentions. If you guys have been watching with us, you see a lot of signs in the crowd for Athena. She was a local wrestler. She had a big following. She had a lot of people in that crowd for her.
Talk about it here on the show every week.
Yeah, we all. Jaybone's flabbergasted by the Athena love. Always like, man, who the hell is Athena? So he calls her into the ring and he's like, "I'm going to give you a shot." He's like, "I'm going to do it. What the NWA won't do it. They're not going to get out. They don't put you on here. I'm going to give you a shot." And then Basil, this is the part that you didn't like. And he tells her, "Go ahead and show your." He's like, "Show your breasts. What do you guys want? You want to see?"
I don't like. Okay, that part. It's like, okay, whatever, because we've seen that before. But it was the action afterward that made me uncomfortable.
So he backs her into the corner.
And he starts pulling on her hair and like.
I didn't catch the hair pull. I know you mentioned that.
Bro, he was pulling on her hair. And
she slapped him, right? She slaps him first, and he backs her in the corner. And then he's like backing her, and then he's like, "What do you want to show?" He's like, "You don't want to show your flapjacks?" He calls her boobs flapjacks. And then, but this is the part that I gotta say made me kind of go like, "Oh shit!" He's like,
Trent,
"Yeah."
In the history of this podcast, we've come across a lot of scumbags. But I gotta say, in this episode's context, Mr. Vince Russo, my hero, Uncle Vince, Long Island's very own. I am his Long Island son. He just doesn't know it yet. This guy might be the ultimate scumbag, the biggest scumbag of all time.
I wasn't a fan. Like, I get it.
I mean it in a good way. Not Basil is poop.
No, I know. I didn't like the hair pulling after all that shit. I don't know. It was a little too much Russo for me.
He was calling her a bitch and a witch and a wench, and I mean, she slapped him. The Harris boys come out to break it all up.
But I love the way he built it up. Like, I love how he had the crowd eating out of the palm of his hand, the way he built it up.
That was good. I will say,
because he had Athena. I'm going to give you Athena. Like, he sang all these great things, and they
were like, "Yeah." He's like, "The old NWA won't give you a shot." I'm going to get. She's like, "Yeah," and then all of a sudden it's like, "Show your tits."
He went old school Howard Stern,
He did.
Let's see those, honey. Show him.
I mean, he is a Howard Stern guy, so like he knew how to build it and then just stab him with it.
2002 was a different animal, to say the least.
Yes, this is the part that's interesting. The Harris boys come out and he starts going in on them. You're just glorified bouncers. Look what they did to you. We need a Russo on the review show. Hey, listen, we're working on it. We've been talking to Uncle Vince, believe it or not. I even tried him tonight. And he's like, "Bro, Trent, I got to watch Raw."
Trent, we both love Howard. We both love the King of Queens. Me and that guy, he doesn't know it. I'm his son, Trent.
You'll get him. I did talk to him tonight. He said, "I got to watch Raw. I got the review show tomorrow with Stevie Richards and Ben
Hameen." That poor guy.
I know. He's like, "I get paid for it. What can I do?" this is the part. So he starts digging on the Harris boys. And then he calls them glorified bouncers. Don Harris starts shooting on the company, said, screw this place, screw the NWA, boom, boom, boom. And then he tells them, take her out. And then they H-bomb Athena twice. And you know she took it because she wanted to be on the show, Basil. She wanted to be on the show. She was the ring girl for this whole time.
Hey, the favorite part of the show was the fans with the Athena. The long ass,
the big Athena one, the one's like ATHENA, like those guys.
Like for what?
I don't know, man. They're there every week.
Yourself, I hate when people who aren't supposed to get themselves over in that regards. Like people are always like screaming my names at shows. I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, no, like this is not about me. Like, stop. Like, I hate that shit. Like,
damn, man.
But she's like, oh my God, these are my fans and they all love me. So they're all going to take the hard cam.
Dude, yeah, they probably position them that way, man. Who knows?
I dropped the King of Queens reference before, and the chat's lighting up. Rest in peace to the great Jerry Stiller, Arthur Stiller, Frank Costanza, all-time great.
One for Jerry Stiller. What a great comedian, man. One of the best of all time. Jerry Stiller.
King of Queens on his back.
He did.
Best guy on the show.
Great guy. Jerry Stiller, everybody. We go back from there, guys. Harris twins with Bullet Bob. Bullet's pissed at what they did. Why are you joining Russo? He makes some weird ass snake analogy, like you see a snake in the road and you throw the snake in the road. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? And even Don Harris was like, the hell is he saying? He goes, some old ass NWA thing or some shit. It was so weird. It was very random. And then he puts them into a he said, they basically tell him to go after himself, basically, not so many words. And he says, well, you guys still work for the NWA, so you're going to be here doing something. You're going to have a match. So he said, you're still under contract. We go from that, guys, to Wildcat Chris Harris taking on Brian Lee. So now we're getting that match we're supposed to have. AMW's pissed. They're yelling at Mike Tenay. They're bitching at Tenay about this. Pretty standard match, though. Spear takes out Harris.
Betty White died? Betty White died?
Betty White did not die.
Betty Wright.
Oh, yeah. Even with glasses on, I'm not seeing that one clear. I thought he just spelled White wrong. Who's Betty Wright? Never heard of Betty Wright.
Who's Betty Wright? I don't know who Betty Wright is. Let's look that up. Let's verify that. Anyway, he takes out the Spear, gets the win on this one. Qualifies for the bull rope match. This was kind of weird. It was like we're gonna qualify for a bull rope match where Jim Mitchell's gonna be tied to the bull rope. But it's like if his own guys are tied to the bull, what the hell difference did it make? I don't know.
It doesn't.
It didn't. It's like so. Like if his guy, the new church wanted to be like, oh, his own guy be tied to a bull rope that he's tied to. So what? They'd be protecting him. It didn't really add up. It's kind of weird.
The whole bull rope thing, that whole thing pissed me off, like in a bad way.
It's just too much. It was like, what are we doing?
Overbooked.
Oh, totally overbooked.
It was. So, I was like, oh, cool. Like Chris Harris won. Which can we talk about Chris Harris's freaking 8-pack that he had?
Holy shit, dude! What a
bro!
Like, you could see why he was the breakout though at the time.
Bro, that 8-pack, dude! I was just like, get it, Chris Harris.
Oh man, you're just trying to get us castrated by Jeff Lane and Vince Russo with that one.
Big time.
Whatever. I don't care. I'm gonna say my
hell of an 8-pack. I will give it to him. Hell of an 8-pack.
I'm gonna say my opinions.
He looked good.
Eight-pack.
I used to always wonder, I'm like, man, you could see why he's the breakout, man. Like, it really makes sense now.
He has a hell of an 8-pack, but I have the full keg. So who's
nice? Nice. Yeah, 24 keg, baby. That 24 keg. Kyle, how many kegs of beer have you drank by yourself in your lifetime? I mean, you're not that old, but I mean, I'd love to know how many.
How many keg stands have you done?
I don't know. I mean, so I work at a brewery. That's one of my part-time jobs around these parts. So
that's right.
Hard to say. I'm around the kegs all the time, but when you're around it so much like that, you don't really drink it that much. Like I really don't drink much.
Hey, Kyle, you ever been to Defiant Brewery? Like,
nope.
You heard of Defiant beer at all?
There's like 100.
It's in New York.
Breweries.
We need to take him to the Red Brew Bar.
Which bar?
The Red Brew Bar in Logan.
Trent doesn't go to any bars, so I don't
go to bars all the time.
He does. I drink, but he likes to have good food.
The thing about
non-alcoholic beer, man. Trent orders a Shirley Temple.
I get the non-alcoholic beer, baby.
Dude, Trent and I we love exploring food places. If there is one thing we love to do
Foodies,
when
total
we travel,
foodies. Come on.
we're huge foodies. But
when we could be foodies back,
but
back years ago when we were able to go outside, those were nice times.
But when you have access to a good bar that has good food and booze, it's like a winning combination for everybody. Because we're not one of those that's like, oh yeah, we need to force him to drink. Like, we don't give a fuck.
And then you get some people dancing on poles. Then it's
beautiful.
Oh, it's a TNA show.
Oh,
beautiful. That's right. Get a little blood, and why not? A little violence.
Oh, blood.
A little sex. A little sports entertainment. Extreme. Basil, when we were at the Asylum last year, where they set him up, guys, to do his photo editing, was in the sports entertainment extreme locker room.
So basically, where the SEX locker room was, there's the ring is like over here. Like, just say like the ring, and then the entrance is up over here. Back over here to the back was like their locker room, and it's separated from. It's not in the back room, which was crazy because I had to get like the locker room was like on the second floor that wrapped around the ring. So almost like it was behind hard camera, and it was like there's like this second floor area where the locker room was at, and then my photo area, which rookie mistake, is all the way on the other side. Me being a dumbass kid thinking, oh yeah, they'll come over and take pictures. No.
Dumbass.
Oh no, it was horrible. But I know now to set up as close to the locker room as possible, or as close to Gorilla as possible. Because when I did right by Gorilla at Hard to Kill, that was prime. I did right by Gorilla at
Bound for Glory.
Nah, that was kind of a little, yeah, it was by it, but like that whole area, and then Nashville tapings was directly by Gorilla. But or in the locker room or next to the locker room. I did right next to the locker room at ECW Arena. And it's easy because they come in, they go right back to their locker room, and you get them. So never sit up far away from the locker room or Gorilla.
You hear that, Kyle? You taking notes for when you become a photographer?
Kyle's taking my job?
Photographer.
No.
You're taking my job?
He's not gonna shoot wrestlers. He's gonna shoot hot chicks.
There's
right?
no gorilla
position. I'm the talent.
There's no gorilla position. It's just dog.
You are the gorilla in that situation.
Doggy. It's just doggy style.
You're the dog, man.
All right now.
All right, we get to the bag. Ron Killing,
scumbags.
Ron Killings with Bullet Bob. Killing says he wants Russo. Bullet says team with Jeff Jarrett and take out the Harris boys. Then you can have him. So
Paul, you're killing me with this.
Paulie, what are you doing?
I will tell this to anybody who's never been to a wrestling show. You are not and this is not a knock at you, Paul, but I'm telling you, your experience with wrestling will change 10,000% when you go to a show live.
Well, Paul's in Hawaii, and there's not much wrestling going on in Hawaii. There's not a ton of show.
You need to take a quick little trip over to Cali, go to LA, check out that scene. They got a really good scene in LA. You got Bar, you got PWG.
How about this, Paul? Paul, if you were making Chicago, I'm going to buy you your
more
ticket.
of an XPW guy myself. If I'm in California,
man.
Wouldn't be caught dead at PWG. More of a XPW kind of guy. Personally.
I love XPW. It was so ridiculous.
I'm a bar wrestling guy.
I'm
a bar wrestling guy myself. So.
Oh, dude, XPW, a wrestling company that was run by a porn director. It was fantastic.
XPW, Rob Black is there with Herb Abrams UWF. Like it's right there.
I loved Rob Black. I remember getting some of his porn that he had with Jasmine St. Clair in it. And then the next thing I know, the guy, because in the porn, he'd be wearing ECW t-shirts because they're all shot like documentary style. And I'm like, that guy's cool.
That was a very, very sleazy human being, Trent.
Oh, total sleazeball. And then all of a sudden he opens up XPW. Lizzie Borden check. Look, D. Cohen knows, man.
He knows. He had those VHS tapes too.
I got the rise and fall of XPW sitting over here on my
you and 4 other people purchased.
Yeah, absolutely. I got quite a bit of XPW tapes. I really do. But how the hell did we get on XPW? Shit.
TNI, baby.
TNI, man, just scumming it. Slash takes on Cowboy James Storm. Quick match. This was such a weird match. It's like literally James Storm kicked out of everything that slashed through at him, and it's almost like he was superhuman at a certain point. I'm like, how much more can this guy kick out of? It was like you couldn't bury Slash any further because James Storm never went down for anything. So, but James Storm gets the win on this one after Harris interfered. Now they're both in the bull rope match. I want to see what, hang on, I'll see some of these comments here. Dick Cohen saying, we used to do bus trips from New York to Philly for XPW. That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Right on. There's some, I'm telling you, XPW is a very lost art.
Bus trips, Impact Wrestling bus trips. We'll pick up Paul Nelson. We'll get the whole gang together. I'll drive the school bus like Otto from The Simpsons. Come on, kids, and we'll go out to Impact.
Hey, man.
Try to buy dinner for everybody.
Hey, smells kind of good in here, man. I can see Kyle doing that right now. Anybody got anything to drink?
That's it.
I love that scene in The Simpsons where Bart and Lisa are at Woodstock, and they're like, "Oh, it smells like Otto's jacket."
Big mark for The Simpsons.
Big Simpsons mark. All right, we got a little silent auction update from Jerry Lynn. He had mentioned this is something that I remember hearing, and it was on this episode. Jerry Lynn, they're raising money for breast cancer awareness. Jerry mentioned his first wife did pass away from breast cancer. He's been with his current wife Pam for a long time, so I didn't realize it was around. I think his first. This must be way before even this time. So, but it was pretty cool. They were raising a ton of money for these. Like this silent auction was kind of cool. You think about it. They were like letting you be a production assistant, play golf with Mr. Perfect, dinner with Jerry Lynn. It was like all sorts of shit they were giving out. I remember looking at it on the website. They were getting up there. And I was like, man, it would be cool to go play golf with Mr. Perfect.
That sort of thing would be cool. I would love that. But fans can't handle that sort of thing, man. They can't.
No.
I would love that sort of, interaction with the stars, but you can't trust wrestling fans. And I've been thinking about that lately.
Could you imagine?
I love wrestling fans. I am a wrestling fan. You get those bad apples in the bunch that just ruin it for everybody. And I'm thinking about that Jordan Grace book that she came out with.
Oh, my God.
Bro, the wrestling fans did that. The wrestling fans did that. They did that.
One of the most brilliant pieces of merchandise ever.
It's amazing. It's such a good read.
Did she get heat for that?
Did anybody get though? That's a representation of our people. Well, not our people, but within our people.
Don't lump me into that shit, Kyle. Do not lump me into that category.
All I'm saying is wrestling fans need to.
All I'm saying at the same time is that there's shitty, creepy people in every sort of form of entertainment.
There's shitty, creepy people up at the supermarket, so I guess so.
It's
guys,
crazy.
We've had our share being podcasters on this show, right? We've dealt with shit on this show.
You never know, man. You never know when somebody wants to wear your face.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, it's unbelievable. But just everybody chill the fuck out. What's the problem here? I get like what the hell's wrong with somebody?
Love wrestling, but don't stalk the wrestling. That's what I say.
We'll put it this way. We have a good example. Basil and I personally knew Lisa Varon, aka Tara, aka Victoria.
Your father's favorite wrestler.
My father's favorite wrestler. But Basil, we know firsthand the shit she will get in her inbox from some male fans is unbelievable.
So I actually helped manage her Twitter account back in the day.
And it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I didn't tweet for her. I never tweeted for her. Basically I would go I would do like promotion. I would do promotional tweets for her PWT store. I'd be the one who would handle that back in the day. And then sometimes some promotional stuff for the Squared Circle I would tweet out, and then I would filter through her messages to make sure there wasn't any bullshit in there.
So you saw Victoria's DMs is what you're saying.
I have seen that penis.
Penis. And that's the type of stuff I'm talking about, wrestling fans. You make me look bad. You make Trent look bad.
That's exactly what goes into those DMs. Power of the penis.
It's crazy. I actually just talked to her about a week ago.
How's she doing?
How's the tarantula?
She's good. We were talking. We brought up Gail Kim because Gail Kim was talking about her and stuff like that. Her and Gail are just. They love each other. She had a burger named after Gail.
The Gail Kimchi.
Oh my God. One of the
Gail
best
Kimchi.
burgers.
I would love to try that.
One of the best burgers ever.
It was one of the hottest selling burgers they had there. I like there was so many good burgers there, man. That was a great restaurant.
Yeah,
Great restaurant.
that wasn't the burger your father was thinking about.
No,
that,
absolutely not. He was definitely talking about a different kind of roast on that menu. It was great. The restaurant was very, very cool. I definitely that's where I met Basil. Actually, was that restaurant. So
yeah, that's where I don't think if that restaurant was around, I'd be in the wrestling business.
So that's where Beavis met Butthead.
Pretty much,
dude. And then we were inseparable. We were going to like ROH shows.
Yeah, a lot.
And then we bonded. Like Trent went through something pretty traumatic, and we kind of bonded over that. And then it was just.
I used to throw me and my ex, and then girlfriend, but that became eventually my ex-wife. We used to throw a party every Thursday at Impact. It was the Squared Circle Social Club, and we'd watch Impact every Thursday. It'd be an Impact party every week. Like Scarlett showed up a bunch of times. She was there. I mean, all sorts of people were just coming in and out. Big groups. We actually got a photo on WWE.com.
Yeah, dude. We all
remember
did.
that?
I remember we all got photos on WWE.
Oh, good for you.
It was crazy.
Hey, man, you know what? Back in that day, when everything was a little bit more innocent, it was fun. Like
it was like
2013, yeah,
14, yeah. Anyway, let's keep going here. Good times, man.
Senior year of high school. Don't remember much.
No, I'm sure you don't, man.
Fucking senior year of high school. Shit.
Super senior year of high school, actually. 2012 was supposed to be my year. I forget that.
Oh, shit.
Not wrong with that.
Bullets in the back with Jeff Jarrett and Truth. And he says, Jeff, I wrestled your dad in this very building. I know you were 12 years old. Team up with him. Come on. Let's do this. They help me take out these Harris boys. And then Russo, he tells Killings tells Jarrett, don't fuck this up. So looks like they're going to team up.
Can we shout out Lakers real quick? Every time he comes in, man, he just rocks the place. You know, when I see his comments pop up, the capitals, the F word, I just get tempted to just be like,
we love you.
Lakers is in the house.
We love you. We love everybody who is always active in the comments. You guys make this fun. It's more than just us talking because the three of us were pretty freaking boring.
Speak for yourself, asshole. This is
you're so
kidding
boring.
me?
You're vanilla. You're like a vanilla joke.
Yeah, right. Not anymore.
He's not
kidding me. Tuesday nights. This place is a party. The big stars of Impact Wrestling.
Tuesday Night Delight.
Oh, you kidding me? Like, we keep this tamer on the throwback show, but on the Tuesday nights, fucking party. But no, good time. No, Lakers, my man, Lakers. This guy. Dude, he'll send me messages afterwards like, you motherfucker, I fucking love you, man. God damn it. This fucking show. You know, I love that guy encourages me, man. It's great. You all do, honestly. Everybody, man. Everybody in this fucking chat, everybody in my fucking messages and comments.
This show has given me a confidence that I never knew I had. Trent, remember when we used to first start doing the show? Be like, Kyle, how's the love life? Nothing. What's been going on the past few weeks in our DMs there?
Kyle,
wild escapade, man.
Kyle,
like 60s. I've like spiritually like opening up.
Oh, he's all out of notches on his bedpost at this point, guys. He's still going to start a quarantine army of children. It's incredible what this show has done for Kyle.
It's time to populate.
Yeah,
scum community.
It's a dude.
COVID-19 population is going down. Somebody's got to step up to the plate.
That's
Need more
true.
Kyles around here.
I mean, you've been through COVID. You got the antibodies. I mean, you're like Superman at this point. You're just. I mean. You're buckets everywhere. It's
more Long Island shock jockers to around.
Next up is a double elimination match. This match had a lot going on, man. This was
this is officially the end of my my love for easy money.
This was Kid Kash versus Easy Money. So there's a lot of money versus Red versus AJ. AJ attacks Red right at the entrance. Red's out. And then replacing him is Joel Maximo. I'm like, this is your fucking replacement? Why Joel? Why not Jose Maximo?
Why?
All the
Why replace Red at all? Why replace Red at all?
It meant nothing.
Rex, I love you, but you can't tell us while we're live to just rewind the show. He wants us to go back to the Piper segment. We can't do that.
No.
Rex, we can't. We're live.
This isn't Burger King, man. You don't just get whatever you want.
We'll talk about the Piper segment again because Vince Russo does come out later, so we'll get to it.
We'll get to it for sure.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it for sure. But it was a work shoot gone wrong. How about that? Okay, we'll say that for now. This was a mess. You could have taken Red out afterwards, but you put in Joel Maximo. Like, I don't hate the Maximos, but it's like, what the hell is the point of this?
I hate the Maximos.
You hate the Maximos?
Compared to Red? Yeah.
Look, it's a Red. I mean, Red's Red, but the Maximos are a different story. It didn't make sense because they already wrestled earlier in the night. And then they're like, oh, he's doing double duty. It's like, why one of them?
It's like saying you hate George or Ringo. You know, it's not their fault. They're still very important.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody pulled double duty because of that Roddy Piper pay.
That's true. That Roddy Piper pay, man. Couldn't get around it. Here I have the eliminations in line here. So you have to be pinned twice. Again, very strange stipulation on this one. So let's see what we got here. Joel. So all right. So Kash pins Joel. AJ pins Joel. So he's out. Easy pins AJ. AJ interferes and Kash gets eliminated. AJ pins Easy. Joel pins AJ. AJ hits Joel with the chair, and then Easy Money wins. This is what the fucking. I don't even know what I just said there. All I know is that Easy Money wins. That's what I got. Now, Basil, why'd you stop liking Easy Money here?
Because of what he did to AJ Styles.
He pinned AJ Styles. Easy Money holds a win over AJ Styles.
Fuck him. AJ Styles. Easy Money is on the shit list forever now. Super biased.
This is
super biased.
This is that's crazy. I can't believe Easy Money walks around that saying that he pinned AJ Styles. That's
stupid name.
Easy Money, baby.
Super talented, stupid name.
Zach Bonifer is one of the 4 people that caught Trent. You don't even know about this. On Saturday night at like 2 a.m, I went live on our Instagram feed there.
What the fuck happened?
Just like late night scumbag show
on our Instagram feed, the show
on our Instagram show page. I went live. I figured we need to start utilizing that, going live, talking to the people, and I did not run any old ladies over. I don't know why Zach is saying that, but I was going live with the people.
He's not Jaybone, guys, and Jaybone one runs people over.
Late night scumbag show.
Oh my god. I didn't know you did this. I was up.
Nobody knew. I didn't even know Zach knew. I was on there for 5 minutes. Nobody showed up. I got off.
a couple different ways, I'm sure you were coming back from something with a story attached to it, Kyle. Hey, let's let it be. But all right, so we go to Keith Mitchell and Mike Miller in the back. Silent auction to be a production assistant. It was kind of cool. I've never seen what Keith Miller looked like. Or Keith Mitchell. Keith Mitchell, because you always hear Mike today going, Keith Mitchell in the back. Hey, Keith Mitchell in the back. Is Keith Mitchell with AEW now, Basil? That's Keith Mitchell, right? He's there now?
Yeah.
I believe he is now. I believe that's Keith Mitchell. So he's with AEW. So that's long-time WCW producer, director and everything. So he's been in the business forever. I like Keith Mitchell's done a lot of work. A lot of things you guys grew up on was produced by that guy. Sonny Siaki's in the back. Sonny Siaki is in the back with Goldilocks.
This guy, Sonny Siaki.
I know you don't like him.
1 week, he's stealing the Rock's look. He's stealing the Rock's moves. He's stealing the Rock's dialect. And this time, look at him. Let me try to pull up a picture of this right here.
Go ahead, pull this up. Yeah, Kyle,
Sonny Siaki looks like he raided Conan's closet. Stole his
98 Conan mixed
like
with
Fubu
a little
Conan, like Filthy Animals Fubu'd out Conan, you know?
Kyle sends a picture to us and he goes, Conan looks great on this show. I'm like,
look, I've never seen Conan in like shape like this, man. And no disrespect to the Conan dog, but the K dog, look at this.
Yeah, he does. Goldie's looking hot there. Look at Goldilocks, man.
He's the Rock 1 week. This week he's Conan. Just Sonny Siaki with the identity crisis. Come on, man.
I loved Sonny Siaki so much, and then since we started doing this, you made me start thinking, like questioning damn, he really was doing like too much Rock stuff, like Rock mannerisms. Now he's Conan.
But he was so talented in the ring, and he got the job done.
I like him. I like Sonny.
And the reason he retired, man, like we talked about this like 2 months or 3 months ago on this podcast. But the reason why he retired, mad respect.
Gave his brother a kidney, man. His brother needed a kidney transplant. Did The Rock ever give his brother a kidney? Did The Rock ever give his brother a kidney? No, he didn't. Neither did Conan.
Did Conan ever give his brother a kidney?
No, sir.
Conan can't. I don't think Conan can give his brother a kidney.
I love you. You're my brother, but if you needed a kidney That's it, pal. You're on ice, man.
Are you kidding me? Your kidneys. You're probably down to one functioning kidney as it is.
You don't want this kidney, Trent.
And knowing you'd give me a kidney and I'd fucking die anyway because they're like, God, that kidney had some damage. That, I'll maybe get 4 weeks out of that kidney.
I need to split you guys up. Relax. Woosah.
This is how it goes on TNI, Basil. This is how we got to break ball. You ever listen to morning radio? This is how it works.
I'm mediating.
Turning to the Jerry Springer show here on this podcast. It really is.
This is how it works.
Just split up. I'm holding you guys back. I'm Steve on Jerry Springer show.
Oh man, Steve Wilkos.
Basil Wilkos. I mean, Basil's getting his own spin-off show, the Basil Wilkos show.
The Basil Wilkos show, where he's just nice to everybody.
Hey.
Guys, why are we hating things? Fuck, I fucking hate it. I hate wrestling. Let's talk about that.
Because we had Vince Russo on the show. We're all angry at everything.
That started off hot. This show starts off so fucking hot. That's
and it just becomes just a shit show.
There's so much anger on this show because we go from that to Jerry Lynn's on the ramp with TNA, and he's talking about he's got a partial pec tear, so he couldn't do the match at Siaki, right? And then the Harris boys, in the middle of this, the Harris boys come through the crowd with a table with Bill Behrens dragging him through the fucking audience. And then they beat his ass, set him up on the table. Jerry Lynn runs in to save him. They H-bomb Jerry Lynn through Bill Behrens through the table. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? There's so much anger on this show. So much anger on this show. Unbelievable. Bullet Bob's in the back freaking out. He's asking his son, the road dog, BG James, put your differences aside with Jeff Jarrett. I need your help. Do it for the NWA. Do it for the NWA. He's like, all right, Dad, for you, I'll do it. So he does it for his dad. He agrees to it because him and Jarrett have beef at this point. Right. I mean, I love that it's boom, boom, boom. The action is rolling, which I do like. Bull rope match. The match didn't make any sense, Basil. The bull rope match. So
I hated that shit.
I didn't like it either. I didn't like this.
It was like, if you were like, okay, I was okay with the beatdown part. I get it. But just have James in the bull rope match for the rest of the match. And then instead he's like, nah, here you go. You come in, you fight. I was just like, what? It's overbooked. It's just so overbooked.
Jim Mitchell says he talked to his doctor, Dr. Kevorkian, which I thought was a funny little drop, that he can't compete, that he's got pneumonia. A lot of excuses, Kyle. Tons of excuses from Jim Mitchell on this why he can't compete.
But a thing or two about excuses, Trent. Who's better at excuses than me?
That's why I shot it to you. I said, who would know better about making excuses to get out of work than Kyle?
Legendary excuses over here, man.
Absolutely. But he says
I lie to you twice a week. I'm great.
It's great. He says Belladonna is going to take his place. She gets in there very awkwardly, takes a beating, tries to dish it out. The new church comes in, interferes. Very messy segment. I wrote my notes here, say messy segment. At the end of it, they give a death sentence to Belladonna. And, I mean, they take her out, man. Harris hits her head, and she clutches her head right away. You could tell. I think she legit got her bell rung on this one. That looked like it hurt like a motherfucker when she took that sentence from Chris Harris. So Belladonna's gone, man. She's destroyed. And again, she passed away last year. Just last year at the age of 40 years old, man. She passed away very young, too young. Never really had a chance. I guess I never really saw her anywhere after this. So, but we got a little moment here with her. All right, guys, we're coming up towards the end of the show. Curt Hennig's in an interview backstage with Mike TNA. This was actually better than the last time they did this because last time I think he was hammered or something because he was definitely not he wasn't focused on the interview. This one talking about the NWA, the prestige of the NWA, being the AWA champion in '87. I thought it was pretty cool. Pretty good interview. He talks about next week there's a title match with Jeff Jarrett, which I feel like got overlooked in all this. The fact that Curt Hennig has a title match the next week. Got overlooked on all this. All this going on. It's oh shit, we have a main event where he's actually getting a title shot.
It's not about that, Trent. It's about the SEX chaos. I feel like Basil was just saying, the show feels so overbooked. And I feel like it's like that for a reason. It's supposed to feel super chaotic. Somebody's going to stand up to the SEX Russo-rific madness. Somebody's going to come along. I think they can go.
they really had to drill it home to you that this little takeover is like really hitting you today.
They went over the top though, man.
You had to though. You have to do that in the first one to let people know. All right, like this shit's like wild right now. I mean, it definitely caught people off guard. I think the audience did react. I will say, Basil, right? Like the audience was like they were reacting to everything, which I gotta say I appreciated.
But this is what I think, because remember when I said that the crowd back then was coached?
Yeah.
And remember on Russo's thing, during Russo's segment, he looks at Jeremy Borash. He's like, "Stop fucking waving the fans." And I think Borash was coaching the crowd during that time to get them to all chant the same thing, because how is the same crowd so hot for Russo one week and then the next week just absolutely obliterating him?
No, because you saw that Kyle pointed it out, like he played to them at first, like this was like the art of it. He was playing to their want, and then he pulled them back.
When you bring Athena into it, you go right for the jugular, man, right for the heart.
Borash's coaching was just him. He'd always just be like, "Come on, let's go, let's cheer."
I need to ask them more of this. I need to talk to Don.
They definitely were not coached. That Nashville crowd was hot, man. They weren't being coached.
They were hot. Don't get me wrong. They were hot.
The most they were coaching was just him going like, "Come on, come on." You know,
this is what we need, Trent. On our Tuesday night show, we're getting the big guests, the guest of the present, today's Impact roster. But on this show, the Monday Throwback Show, we need to start bringing in guests from yesteryear.
We should, the SATs didn't want to come on, and I think it's time we pull the trigger and get the SATs on.
Get them on, man. We have to talk to people that were there back then, not you guys, because you guys were like 12 watching it on TV. I'm talking about people that were there, man.
At least we weren't in the trenches, not watching it.
I was 21 years old when this came on. I was a grown ass man.
All right, I was like 7, so I guess. Yeah. All right, yeah. You guys already had children and stuff. Whatever.
Are we that far apart? Shit, we are, right?
We have kids.
I think so. I don't know.
I might, but that's besides the point.
There might be a possibility.
I think Trent's like Drake. I'm going to reveal on the show that he has a son that he's never told us about. Like the rapper Drake. Like it's going to happen here on the show. Trent's secret son that I don't know about. I'm going to find him. And this would be so awkward if all of this was accurate and true.
I've always had this dread that's going to happen. Like he's going to be like 20 and he comes like, "Hey man, you're my dad." I'm like, "Fuck you."
He's going to be the Christian Troy. And if anybody watches Nip Tuck, you get that reference. He's going to be the Christian Troy.
No, but you know what's going to
happen? Here's what's
going to happen though. If a kid shows up at 21, it's like, "Hey man, you're my dad," I'd be angry. Not the fact that he's my kid. I'd be like angry. It's like, I lost out on all those fucking years. I could have been hanging out with you. Now you're 21. Like, what fun are you now? What fun are you? What am I supposed to do with you now?
You can't drink with them and you can't smoke with them. So
I can't get the baby years. I can't enjoy anything. I gotta fucking get an adult. Who wants an adult? I don't want an adult.
Nobody wants an adult.
Nobody wants an adult. I want a kid. I want a kid who thinks I'm the shit. So like, listen, I'm gonna put that out there right now. If there's an illegitimate child of mine out there somewhere, like just show up now. Don't wait till I'm like 48 and show up then. Show up now so I can like hang out and like at least get something out of you. You might be a teenager.
You feel that passion, Basil? That was a little too passionate.
This is what we do on the show.
He spoke from the heart, man.
This is what we do on the show.
Trent, you have a kid.
Trent has a bastard son we don't know about.
He knows. It's built in deep into his conscious. Back in '88, he slammed the MILF.
It was it was back at Studio 54 where he.
Those were good days, man. Those are great
days.
Those are awesome. All the girls want to run their fingers through that hair. You know what I'm saying? Those are good days.
Hey, speaking of children, look at how we interact with our people here. Slowpoke 33 has 2 babies, and he's listening while he's potty training the kids.
That's incredible.
That's TNI, man. We're in the homes of people, man. We're a family show.
I love it.
Amazing. This is just great.
I love that.
I needed this today.
He's like I kill for an adult.
See, like Basil comes here every week, not for the wrestling talk. He comes
oh my god,
he comes here for the chaos.
You know what? I deal with so much wrestling that this is fantastic. This is fantastic.
I could cut, guys. I cut a decent promo. Basil knows this. I was even developing a character for myself.
Oh my god!
I got great stuff in the can, guys. I got.
Our
I love
impersonations
Trent
are on
wrestling,
point.
like cutting promos with like a Disco Stew type character.
Oh shit!
Oh, this just got even weirder, man. Look at what Millard Harris put. Plot twist is Basil. Look at this right.
I mean,
Trent.
Trent.
See it. That beard makes Trent look really old. Basil, you look young. You got a baby.
Trent, you're what, 6 years older than me?
I'm I'm gonna be 39 this year.
So you're 6.5 years older.
Six and a half older. Yeah, that'd be a rockin' first grade if that was the case.
30 kids from
all right, we got a couple segments to go.
This is the best episode of TNI throwback ever.
If this doesn't get a sign, Josh Matthews, I don't know what you're watching. If this doesn't sign,
quite the opposite, Trent. This is gonna make sure you never get signed. I'm
true.
punk rock. I'm not coming either way. We already found that out.
Kyle went on record this afternoon and said that he wants to keep it punk rock DIY. He's not taking the Wayne's World sellout. And I said, you know what, Kyle?
Unless I didn't get to finish. Look, I did not get to finish, Trent. Unless they put it on paper. Just you, scumbag. You're the star. No more Trent. No more Jaybone. Just us. Just you. Then I would sell out. Different story. Then I get to become the star. Different story.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up here. Harris Boys versus Jeff Jarrett and BG James. But BG James is injured in the back. He doesn't make it out. And this is what pissed me off here. What the hell? Trent brings Basil on the show to bring your kid to work.
Dad, you said we'd get pooned.
Oh, God. Oh, God. News breakdown as a kid. This is going to be wild now. This rumor's going to fly.
Me so many birthdays.
Oh, my God.
So many birthdays.
Fuck out of here.
Just asked who are the odd people on the phone by a 3-year-old.
Oh, my God. Wait, what? Who are the odd?
Stop. Impact talk for Impact fans. Hello, 3-year-old on the potty.
Oh, my God.
Children show.
Hey, kids.
This is the best episode ever. You won't be able to top this.
I can't.
Drinking the drink.
I feel special that we're there with Slowpoke while he's potty training his kids right now, listening to a throwback on a show that happened 18 years ago. I appreciate it. I appreciate you hanging with us.
Priorities.
I hope your kids turn out well because of this. You know.
Okay. Look, all I'm saying is, if you need like a role model to teach things to the kids, Kyle the scumbag. I got a kitten. All right.
He's got a kitten now. He's got a kitten. All right, let me get this last segment out here.
Hey, what's overbooked? This podcast or this show?
This podcast is way overbooked today. My God. Well, speaking of that, Jeff Jarrett played the superhero shit that Jeff Jarrett played here at the end. Like, literally taking out both Harris boys. Like, get his ass kicked. But at the same time, he ends up getting the win with what, Basil? What was the finish? You told me to watch out for this today.
Oh, the softest, the safest, the lightest stroke you will ever see in a lifetime. Ever. He literally was like, "Hey, Ron, we're gonna go down together. We're gonna be gentle." He was like, "Do you know what? I think Jarrett just had a kid because he was coddling Don Harris, just like, hey man, we're gonna go down, and then you're gonna eat this pinfall because I'm fucking Jeff Jarrett, and you're gonna understand this." You want a match? This is how you're gonna fucking have a match in TNA.
It was very
King of the Mountain, baby.
He took him down and he pinned him. I was like,
it was the finger poke of doom of strokes.
I was like, he could have lost here. He could have been fine to lose here. But so Truth obviously is taken out, right? So Truth starts stumbling out with a chair. He's out there. And he gets on the microphone, and his exact words are, "I want some ass from Russo." Did you guys catch this?
What?
I think he meant to say, "I want Russo's ass."
Yes.
He stumbled and said, "I want some ass from Russo." I go, "What the fuck?" So he says that. The Harris boys beat the shit out of him, H-bomb him. Russo comes out. He commands a second H-bomb on them. BG James runs in to make the save on Truth, and then turns on everybody. Join Sports Entertainment Extreme. So this is your first. Perfect timing there. I love that. Turns on him, joins Vince Russo, but somebody else, chaos going on in the ring. But we have another appearance as the show's going off the air. Kyle, we have one more appearance. Who is it? One guy appears at the end.
What are we calling him here? Because we can't call him by his Connecticut name, his Illuminati Connecticut name. What do we call him?
Just call him by his Connecticut name.
Paul Bearer, William Moody.
I like how they said, "Oh my God, it's Paul Bearer." I mean, formerly known as Paul Bearer.
Yeah, got that.
FKA.
Percival Pringle III. That's
Percy
what he's going to go by. Percy Pringle. That's what he's going to
He
go
was-
by.
Percy was a huge factor in championship wrestling from Hollywood.
Oh, dude, all the stuff with Eli Drake, man.
Eli Drake and Brian Cage's tag team manager when they were a tag team. They had huge ties to him, and they still do. They have this trophy that's shaped like an urn. It's like a memorial type trophy that they fight over in championship wrestling. It's pretty dope.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, he late in his career before he passed away, he was working out there. But I mean, he had a big storied career in World Class Championship Wrestling as Percy Pringle, blonde hair and everything. So this is years ago. He was a very he's been around for a long time. He wasn't just Paul Bearer. So appears at the end on the ramp, giving his famous Paul Bearer look, and then the nod, and we went off the air. And that was it. That was episode number 24. Chaotic. What a chaotic episode, though, man. I listen. People differ. I love this stuff. To me, it is total nonstop action. It just there's something happening. I know, Kyle, you're like me on this. There's this shit happening all the time, and it's great because it's like keep me interested. I don't want to look away, and I know that was Russo's booking philosophy. Is like I don't want to give anybody a reason to change the channel or look away. Like you keep something going.
This type of insanity, Trent, as far as wrestling goes, I feel like it's an acquired taste.
It is.
But if you follow this podcast, you know that we're not just saying now, oh, we love this sort of stuff. We've said since episode 1, me and you specifically, Trent, we love the crazy Russo Crash TV. It's fun. It's wrestling crack, as I like to call it. It's just insanity.
The other side of it is, Basil, you can speak to this. The other side of it is, as wrestling psychology goes, you don't get the
traditional sportsmen don't like it. I understand that.
You don't get you don't get to absorb
a lot of the traditions and values. I understand that.
Absolutely. And you don't get to absorb a lot of it because
it's not that I hate it. It's like I wouldn't hate the show, but if it was booked in different segments, the show would work so much better. But it seemed like if you were up on deck, you stayed by Gorilla, and then you were on the next segment. And that was like kind of like there was too much of that. It's that happened in those early years, and I like when it's broken out from later in the show or something like that. Like,
if you blink or go to the bathroom, you missed a lot of important stuff.
Yeah, and it's not like the show was boring or anything like that. It's just the way how it's booked and the way how I see how good booking does, because there is good booking that happens right now. Like, I'm not talking about WWE or any of that shit, but like the companies that I work with, and even indie companies, like the psychology of how a show is booked is super important to keep the fans invested and interested. And that just kind of, it was growing pains for them. They were throwing shit at the wall, seeing how things happen. And it was just, it didn't work perfectly, but they did keep it exciting. There wasn't too many lull moments, but there was some stuff that made you scratch your head. But like I said, it's growing pains. Anything within the first year of a company like that's doing a weekly show, you gotta give a little bit of leeway, because as we do know, the show does get tremendously better, especially when we get into late 2003, 2004 Asylum days. And then once you start getting in the Impact past the Fox Sportsnet days, the show gets really well booked, especially for Impact, because they were learning how to do a 1 hour show then from a 2 hour show. So like I said, it's all growing pains. It wasn't horrible, but there was stuff that can improve. And that's just my take, and that's just from me seeing how current writing, like I see Jimmy Jacobs write, I see Scott D'Amore and Don Callis, and I see other people. I see Cody's writing and Jericho's writing, but like I see their promos and all that stuff, and I'm around them. So it's like, and they'll explain to me why, because people ask for input and all that stuff, and then I'll say something, and they're like, "Oh, if you do it like this, like." I got to listen to Dean Malenko, Arn Anderson, and Tully Blanchard all help Scorpio Sky give a promo, and it was fascinating to listen to. You know what I mean? So it's just like I'm around that stuff all the time, and I understand why certain things are booked a certain way now. So it's just like that part of my side kicks in a little bit. So that's it.
Yeah, and you also look at in context. You look at these guys and you go, hey, man, you're 24 episodes in. There's going to be so much up and down that they're going to learn from. But it's interesting to watch the growth. That's part of the interesting thing about watching these episodes is seeing that growth.
Though, in here, Trent. Context is everything, because we talk about
absolutely.
We do enjoy the craziness of this. We like the Crash TV aspect, but it's important to mention this would not work today. None of this would work today. It's just a nice moment in time to look back on, like, wow, that was crazy.
In general, wrestling from 20, 30 years ago doesn't work today. The society has changed, all of that stuff, but it doesn't make it bad. People are like, oh, that's horrible to watch now. Like everyone's like, oh, Attitude Era just sucks. But it's like, you can say that with 2020, with hindsight, 2020 vision. But back then, that shit was amazing. That shit was fun to watch.
We gotta make America Jerry Springer again, as far as I'm concerned.
But it's just like you got to add that excitement back into it. But you can still do that excitement with the current landscape of wrestling.
You can do it tastefully. Don't go full trash. Don't go right for the garbage.
And there's multiple companies that do that right now that are on TV. So it's not impossible for
Impact. I think that Impact gets crazy weekly. We talk about people getting killed off on the show, all types of insanity.
I see it all the time, man.
More than anybody.
I see it all the time. They're not overproduced. They're not fed line word for word. They're given points, which is how it should be. And they make good stuff. Their promos are fun to watch. Bill
brings up a good point here.
Yeah.
Bill brings up a good point. He says, look at the ratings. Does any wrestling actually work now? I mean, it's a good point. You know, it is at the lowest. Wrestling's at the lowest it's ever been at this point. You know, and that is tough.
And there's a sentiment to no matter how good the product is, that fans at arenas. Because like I said, you can watch wrestling on TV, but it changes your perception. Like wrestling grows after you go to a show, because what ends up happening is you go to a show, you're like, that shit was so fun. That was amazing. I love that. Like me and my barber are really good friends. I got him tickets to Bound for Glory. I got his whole family to go. And now 3 of his kids love Impact. They just thought WWE, that was it. When they saw about taking their companies back to the way wrestling used to be, you can talk about it, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. I don't care about talk. I want
a slogan at that point. Hey, remember the good old days?
I don't care about back in the day, but like look at Impact. They are bringing back some TNA stuff, and TNA stuff was fun. I'm sorry, but like 2007, 2009, that shit was like prime for TNA, and they're bringing back some of that stuff that made fans love the product, and they're trying out different things. If you're trying and you're doing it in a good, tasteful way, I'm okay with it. Like this TNA stuff is fun right now, like because I get to live a little bit of my childhood that I thought was dead. So
it's true. I mean, people are getting that, seeing the belt out there again, things like that, watching these shows. It is fun. I agree with you, man.
Your childhood is not dead, Basil. It's actually around the waist of Moose.
That's true.
right by his private area.
True story. I was the only one for some reason that was able to belt buckle that title back on Moose. Like Scott D'Amore was trying, but I was just like, you know what? I'm like, for some reason, I don't know if it was just me having a fixation to that title, but I was able to snap on that title perfectly on Moose every time. So he trusts me only now to do that shit. So
I recommend everybody watch the Barry Scott or the throwback, the cold open for tomorrow's show. Barry Scott is back in it, and it is fantastic. If you want to hear the beautiful voice of Barry Scott saying, "This is TNA," all that stuff. It's great. You need to check that out. So that's on for tomorrow's cold open. Anyway, let's wrap this up, guys. So remember, guys, tomorrow night we're going to be. Kyle, are we doing? Are you going to throw me to the wolves again and have me do the Twitch co-stream while you're just fucking around? Am I doing that again?
The thing is, though, Trent, I'll be honest. Now I'm probably reaching for an excuse because I can never get to the watch party on time. But most importantly, if Ethan Page is going live with the stars of Impact, who the hell wants to watch Trent? Little old me, Jabronsky, Hefferino, Alicia, whoever's going to show up. Who wants to watch that? I mean, maybe we can just click the host button and get in the comments and comment along and kind of promote the show, kind of mooch off of Ethan's chat room. We could be in there, so all the people are going to be there.
I mean, everybody liked, they were in there. Like, Bill was in there hanging. I mean, we had a good, 15, 20 just watching our stream.
Hold on. What if we host, because all we have to do is click the host button on Twitch. What if we host whatever Ethan Page is doing here, and all of us as a team will infiltrate the chat room together? We'll just move the party. Because I don't feel comfortable going head-to-head on a live broadcast against one of the wrestlers we're talking about, Trent.
I mean, listen.
Something's not right there.
Hey, but listen, we'll decide on that. I don't mind just hosting it. But, guys, don't forget, 30 minutes after Impact goes off the air, we're going to be live with the weekly show, the flagship show of the TNI Network, Total Nonstop Impact. Special guest Johnny Bravo is going to be on with us, guys. So definitely be sure to join us. Get your questions ready. John will be answering stuff for you guys, so he's ready to go.
Get your bowling questions ready. Bowling Alley Bravo.
Bowling questions, Taya questions. Prince, was it the dog? What's it? Prince Perry? I forgot the name of the damn dog. The dog,
Mr. Mundo.
Mr. Mundo, but he had a different name. It was Prince something at one point.
It's Mr. Mundo.
Mr. Mundo's going to be there. He's not going to be there, but he's answering questions. Gut check. He'll answer gut check questions. Definitely, guys, be ready. Johnny Bravo will be joining us. Now, don't forget, we'll be going live quadcasting tomorrow night. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch at TNI Show on Twitch. Jump right in.
Right. Havoc has their own live stream watch along too. So we're going up against Ethan Page and Havoc.
Well, Havoc. So the reason why Havoc and Ethan do it is they put it on Twitch. So people,
that's what the dog was.
Yeah. That's the real dog.
Yeah.
It's so other people around the world can watch it on Twitch live, because in Europe they have to wait a day.
Yep.
So they do that so everybody can watch
live.
live.
For our listeners.
Hey, listen, I don't think we did too bad last week going up against Ethan Page. We did okay. I don't mind talking over it, having some dinner, hanging out with everybody, and then doing another 2 hours of the show afterwards, Kyle. I'm a freaking trooper like that, man.
Oh, who cares what I think? Who cares what you think? Let the people decide, man.
You guys let us know.
Right now. Make that decision for us, because we are the people's podcast.
Tweet us tomorrow, guys, at We Talk Impact. Let us know if you want us to do it with live commentary, or you want to just wait for the show to go. The main review should go at that half hour after Impact then. So either way, we're down to do it.
Yeah. So guys, Harris, we are going live after Aftershock.
After Aftershock. Aftershock is a half hour. It worked out pretty nice for us. As soon as Aftershock is over, we're starting. So, all right, let's get some plugs in here. Then I'll do the show plugs at the end. Basil, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BZ. That's a B, 2 E's, 4 Z's, and a Y. All my photos are at basilmahmood.com, BASILMAHMUD.com. Kyle, where could they find you, buddy?
Onlyfans.com /
scum
KL_TNI on Twitter. Slide the DM, say hello.
Very nice, man. Guys, the show is available at We Talk Impact, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at We Talk Impact, or type in Total Nonstop Impact Podcast. Comes right up. We can also take the show audio on the go with you. All major podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, YouTube, you name it, we're on it. Go ahead and download it. Rate, review, subscribe. If you haven't rated yet, guys, I'd love to see some ratings on iTunes. Get the algorithm up. It helps us get seen more and more. I want to give a special shout out to the fans, the listeners out in South Africa. I was looking at the South African numbers, and they're insane. So I know Impact has the South African deal, and it has really helped our numbers because we're getting listeners from South Africa. And I absolutely love it.
Explain to the people how you find this out, because 1 week you're like, "Oh, Kyle, we're number 2 in the Philippines." Like, tell the people how you find these things out. What do you subscribe to?
We have a service that we have, and Basil and I have it for the podcast we do called the Backstage Boys Podcast as well. It's called Chartable. Chartable gives us insight to where we're getting listened to. So Chartable lets us know who's listening and where. And I get this data. I'm like, holy shit. South Africa, or the Philippines, or the Cambodia. For a while, we were charting in Cambodia on iTunes in Cambodia. Blowing my mind. But they fell off. Kyle didn't listen to us anymore, so I don't know why. What happened? What did we do to piss off Cambodia?
Holiday in Cambodia.
Must have done something, man. But they're gone. Anyway, but no, it's great to see. So thank you guys if you're listening out in South Africa. Thank you for the recent additions to the show. Anyway, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us. We'll see you tomorrow night right here. Don't forget, get your questions for Johnny Bravo ready. Thank you all for joining us. NWA TNA number 24. Tweet Vince Russo. Tell me you want him on this show to talk about all this stuff, and we'll hopefully get him on here eventually. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for having us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Carol Baskin, baby.
Bye.
This is the jaw-jacking Tuesday Night Impact, and his mother called him son because he shines like one. Mocha Skin Manimal, Rowdy Roddy, and you are watching Total Nonstop Impact.
This is Taya La Güera Loca, and you are listening to Total Nonstop Impact.
The Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, and you're listening to Total Nonstop Impact.
We are the Rascals. And you are listening to Total
Non-stop
Impact
Podcast, baby.
Woo! And what you're really listening to is Total Non-Stop Impact. Don't you dare miss a lesson.